Hey guys, Kevin here, and I'm pleased to announce the release of FFREND or FFREND 0.2. I've added a number of new features along with some UI enhancements, some really needed UI enhancements, just things that, that should have been there in the first place, but I didn't have time or didn't get round to adding them. But either way, this is the new massively improved interface in my opinion. It's a lot simpler than it was, and it's a lot less wasteful, shall we say. Now, some of the new features we'll just demonstrate with a quick render. First off, you can see here the UI has changed quite a bit. So yeah, the UI has changed. I'll say that one more time. One of the biggest changes is the tab setup here. Now we've got video and audio settings, which brings me to my next point. We've actually added some audio settings now. Number one, audio is compressed by default now, which it wasn't before, which means that no, there isn't much of a quality loss, but audio sizes are almost 1/10 of what they were, as in we've gone from about 30 megabytes down to about 3 megabytes, for example. And there's also an audio amplification option, which is very useful if you're just recording vocals or in-game audio and it's a little bit quiet. You can just boost it up a bit. Now, the way that works is a little bit complicated, but basically every 16 notches, as in every 16, you can type in there as well, every 16 of them is double as loud. So I generally, for my videos, I'd use about 3 or 4, as in that would be about as much of an increase as I would need. Other changes, we've added some new video settings. For example, in the quality menu, there is it doesn't look any different, but these options are quite different. The low setting is now a lot lower, and the high setting is about the same. I've basically increased the range, while making some optimizations in order to make the low end look better at much smaller file sizes, and the file sizes you'll get are ridiculous, like 9-10 megabytes for a minute of 720p video, which is just ridiculously small. Megabytes I meant, sorry, not minutes. You get it. I've added a new speed, which is the slow and the slower preset. The slower preset is very, very slow, but for people who don't care about how long the rendering job takes, this will mean that the file size is absolutely puny. However, usually I'd recommend just using the slow preset. The slow preset is generally enough. There's been no changes in the type. Oh yeah, and these are now set by default. You don't have to set them yourself. And as I've just described the audio settings, I've also fixed a couple of bugs. The bug where if you tried saving after you've done this has now been fixed, among other things. I've also added a help guide here, as in what file size is this going to be, which opens a help guide here, which basically tells you what sort of file sizes you can expect. So you can see here 720p. These are just basic tests I performed just to show what sort of file sizes to expect, along with some recommendations down here. Have a read through that if you're interested. But anyway, I've also added some massive performance improvements in terms of just optimizations on the FFmpeg side of things. So you've got a video here, which I believe is 1.1 gigabytes, and it's 1 minute and 38. It's 720p, 30 frames a second, so that's about 1 minute 40 of video. So I'll just add that one just for the time being. Audio compression is on. I'm going to set that to 0 just for the time being. Sorry, the time being, because I know the audio in that is fine. So I'm going to go with low quality along with very fast, just to get this done as quick as possible, and then I'm going to click render, and then I'm going to save it somewhere, like not there because this thing's there. Like videos, for example, now I'll just go, I don't know, test, and there we go, it's rendering now. It's done a minute, 350 frames a second, done. That was 1 minute and 40, 1 minute 40 of render, or 1 minute 40 rendering, and as you can see here, if I come over here, oh, that's the application files. Shouldn't really see that, but oh well. You've got test.mkv, it's 40 megabytes, which is very small considering. We've just gone from 1.1 gig to 40 megabytes, and also that'll be a lot smaller if you use the slow preset. It'll be about 10 or 11 megabytes, but either way, you can see here that is all rendered out perfectly. This is a quick test of some in-game footage. This is either way, so you can see that worked. Anyway, I hope this update is useful to those of you that are actually making use of this. And somebody asked me what this string down the bottom is. It's just for debugging. There's nothing you really need to worry about. If you don't know what it is, you don't need it. That's basically what I need to say there. But either way, so that's a new update. I hope you guys like it. And if you have any sort of suggestions or anything, just send me a message. Check in the description for the Tumblr post on how to download. And there'll be some, well, I'll be able to help you there. Anyway, thanks for watching.